Okay, I will figure out this volume thing um, as I go. So yeah, I need to like I'm doing this through Zoom, and Zoom just automatically has me on mute. And so if I forget to unmute myself, then obviously that's not going to work out too well, is it? So, but anyways, I will correct that for the future. And thank you for watching. This is video 2 of my happiness series, or my How to Be Happy series. I'm going to be bringing you some information and some tips on how to be happy every day. And I'm going to try to follow um, my book. So I wrote a book. It was called Happy Person, Happy Life, a Recipe for Happiness. It's an ebook. You can find it on Amazon if you'd like to follow along. I'm probably not going to go in order of the book. I'm just going to sort of go with what inspires me to talk about that day. And I'm going to be actually updating the book, and I'm going to be making it into a hard copy and selling it on Amazon. But right now you can only get it in the ebook form. But just like be on the lookout for that. I'll let you guys know when that is available. Um, so, and again, I don't know if you watched the video yesterday or not, but I'm just going to be giving little like 5-minute snippets of tips and tricks and ideas of how to be happy. Some of them are mental tricks or psychological. I don't like to say mental. I don't like to say tricks, but they're little like psychological hacks, right, to help you be happy. Um, and some of my talks are just going to be more about the spiritual aspects of us. So if you're not into that, cool, take it or leave it. But I'm also going to be giving you a lot of tips and techniques that are scientifically sound as well, that will help you to have a happier life. Okay, real quick. So when I'm talking about happiness, I'm not talking about like um all day, like having to be in this like smiling, laughing mode all day, every day. In fact, that is impossible, right? We can't be 100% happy or feel, in that sort of fake kind of happiness way, because that's just not human nature. And if you look at a baby experiences like a whole spectrum of emotions, right? A baby can go from being happy to laughing to crying to screaming to being happy again to crying to giggling, right? Because babies just stay in the moment. All right. And I think a lot of times we sort of force ourselves to act like we're happy even when we're not. So, what I'm talking about is true happiness, true well being. And this is not a feeling. Um, let me actually, it is a feeling, it's not an emotion. And I'm going to kind of like distinguish the two. So, it's a feeling that you want to have. Um, long term, right? That you feel comfortable in your skin. That's really what we're talking about. That you're not in a depressed state, that you're running like a program in the back of your mind at the unconscious level, that you are a happy and content person, right? That you're maybe more positive, more optimistic. Um, and I call that background happiness, and I call that in my book, and that's what I'm going to call it, for lack of a better word. But so what I'm talking about is that background happiness. Of course, we're going to always express the full range of emotions, right? There's going to be days where we're going to be sad, where we're going to be grieving, and that's okay. That's natural. We're supposed to do that. We're humans, right? But we don't want to get to the point where we fall into a deep depression. And there's ways where we can keep ourselves out of depression. And that is what I'm going to help you with. Also, before I talk about, um, or before I give you these tips and tricks, none of these uses medication. But I do want to say something about medicine. And that is that I have nothing against the use of medication if done properly. Okay. Some people need medication. I have no judgment. Um, some people need to use it as a tool and then use it for the appropriate amount of time under their doctor's care and then get off of it. With my recipe to happiness, I would like to help you become a naturally happy person so that you don't have to be supported with chemicals and medication. But I'm going to leave that up to your doctor. So, any advice that I give you is not medical advice, okay? Make sure you check in with your doctor, especially if you're on antidepressants, antipsychotics, things like that, okay? All right, cool. And then the last thing that I'm going to say for today is, and then definitely check in with me tomorrow. I'm going to try to come to you at this around the same time every day, if possible, which is going to be 1:30, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Um, where was it going? Okay, so right, so I was talking about medicine as a tool, and then emotions. Um, and we have the gamut of emotions, and that's cool, right? And emotions, again, are separate from feelings. So I'm going to go into that in more detail in another video. And I'm going to really press upon you the idea of gratitude, which I'm going to go into thoroughly in another video, but you're going to hear me come back to gratitude over and over and over and over again, because that is the number one thing for your happiness. And I'll explain all of that later, but I just want you to keep that in mind. And if you hear me repeating gratitude, it's because it's so important. Okay. Um, yeah, so stay tuned for tomorrow, and I'm going to just go over one little topic at a time. I'm going to give it to you in little bits and chunks. Today, what I want you to take away from this is that you are not your thoughts and that you have control over your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. You have control over your thoughts, okay? Your thoughts dictate your feelings, and your feelings dictate your beliefs. So it's very, you got to be very careful about what you allow to think, right? What you allow to come in, that internal talk, or even the external talk that you hear other people say about you. You can choose to believe what people say or not to believe what people say. I know it feels like you have no control over your thoughts and your feelings, but you really do. And I'm going to help you navigate that as well. Oh, now I remember what I was going to say. Um, Lastly, I'm going to help you at the psychological level and maybe even at the spiritual level, but I want you to really take care of yourself at the physical level as well. Make sure that you're getting enough sleep. Make sure that you're drinking enough water, that you're eating healthy, you know, the whole spectrum, all the colors, right? um, Make sure you're getting enough exercise. Make sure that you're getting enough fresh air, right? Because all of this is going to contribute to your overall happiness and well-being. So make sure you're taking really good care of yourself and your diet. And I'm going to help you with your mind. All right. I'll see you in the next video.